Hey everyone, I'm Superhero Gamer and welcome back to another DC Worlds Collide video. Today we're covering one of the most iconic and reliable heroes in the game, Wonder Woman. She's been strong since launch, and even in the in-game, she's one of the most consistent and powerful characters you can build. If you enjoy this guide, hit the like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss any future videos. So, Wonder Woman is a legendary DPS who brings more than just raw power. She's a mix of damage, control, and team support. She can deal heavy physical damage, stun or silence enemies, and boost your entire team's crit damage. What makes her so impressive is her ability to fit into almost any lineup. Whether you're running a crit team, a control style team, or a hybrid team, she'll bring you value. She's going to be especially strong in Crisis Watch and PvP, where her control abilities and scaling make her one of the best legendary investments in DC Worlds Collide. Let's go ahead and start off with her abilities. So, for Wonder Woman's ultimate, Wonder Woman unleashes a powerful AoE slash, dealing physical damage to all enemies and having a chance to stun up to 2 targets. At max level, she deals 200% of her attack as physical damage and has a 40% stun chance, which makes her perfect for interrupting key enemy ultimates or breaking up dangerous combos. Her basic attack strikes twice, dealing strong single target damage. At higher levels, she gains a frantic stack, which boosts her crit damage for 2 turns, and this keeps her damage scaling up every single round. For her advanced attack, this is going to be one of her signature moves. Wonder Woman lashes out with her lasso, dealing heavy single target damage and potentially silencing an enemy. At max level, the silence reaches a 100% chance, making it one of the most reliable control skills in the entire game. This is going to be especially useful in PvP for locking down strong ultimates from enemies like Sinestro, Constantine, or Zatanna. For her passive 1, this passive increases all her crit damage by up to 20%, making her an amazing support DPS hybrid. It synergizes perfectly with other crit-based characters, boosting your team's burst potential drastically. For her passive 2, for every 1% of crit rate Wonder Woman has, she grants a 0.3% damage reduction up to a total of 20%. This makes her tankier as she gets stronger. It's a rare trait for a DPS unit to have, and it lets her stay alive long enough to keep those buffs going. Now let's talk about her badge. At level 10, this is going to increase her crit rate by 10%. At level 20, it increases her crit rate by 15% instead of 10. And for every 1% of her own crit rate, she's going to increase crit damage by 0.5%. And at level 30, for every 1% of her crit rate, she's going to increase her crit damage by 1% instead. Her badge creates one of the most powerful scaling loops in the game. Now, as for her recommended gear, her best build is going to be a 4 crit 2 attack. This is going to be the best build for her. It gives her massive crit synergy, boosts overall scaling, and increases her self-sustain from her passive damage reduction. Now for her alternative set, it's going to be a 4 attack and 2 crit. If you're still building up her gear and you don't have good crit pieces yet, this is going to be your best option. It's easier to build early on, but still keeps her strong overall. And this is also a very good set if you have the Lasso of Truth and you're just trying to one-shot a team. The Lasso of Truth is basically going to guarantee a crit, and the more attack she has, the more crit damage she's going to do. So this is a good option if you're basically just trying to one-shot a team. For the accessory, you're looking for something with an attack percent increase. Flat attack is okay up until you find one of those. Also, a crit percent piece would be really, really nice for her as well. But the percent pieces are obviously going to be better. But if you don't have those, a flat attack piece will work perfectly fine. And same goes for the comm piece. If you're looking for an attack percent comm piece, or maybe a crit percent comm piece, flat attack is just fine until you're able to find some of those. Now let's go ahead and talk about her artifacts. The first one I want to mention is going to be the Lasso of Truth. This perfectly matches her theme and playstyle. It boosts her crit chance and crit damage on her first ultimate, and can even silence up to 2 enemies, amplifying her crowd control abilities. And the next one I want to mention is going to be the Chaos Crystal. For longer PvE battles, this will give her damage amplification and lifesteal, as well as some temporary buffs like haste and frantic, letting her sustain herself throughout tough fights. And then your free to play options are going to be the Sphere Orange, which gives you extra crit rate. And then the Enhanced Sphere Red, this one is going to give you a flat attack, which is going to increase her damage consistency. So, what are going to be her team synergies? Well, Wonder Woman shines brightest when paired with a crit focused team where she can fully take advantage of her crit damage buffs and frantic scaling. That said, her versatility is what makes her truly special. She can be slotted into almost any team, crit, burn, debuff, it really doesn't matter, and she'll perform well. Her universal buffs and control abilities allow her to adapt to nearly every composition without losing effectiveness. I would also like to note that in Crisis Watch, her AoE damage is going to carry you to the maximum amount of points. She's a very, very good unit for endgame, especially for Crisis Watch, where you're trying to get as many bad shards as possible. And in PvP, she's one of the most dependable characters, capable of shutting down an opponent's main threat before they can even act. Her silence ability is very, very good. So what are going to be her strengths? Well, she has excellent AoE and single target burst damage potential. She's a reliable stun and silence control type character. She has very strong crit damage buffs for the entire team. She'll gain damage reduction for her own crit rate. And she's extremely versatile, performing well in pretty much every single team comp. Now, what are going to be some of her weaknesses? Well, she relies on high crit to reach her full potential. She has no healing or shielding capabilities of her own. She can also struggle early game without proper gear investment. And crowd control effects depend on landing crits, which means low crit builds will underperform. So what are my final thoughts on Wonder Woman? Wonder Woman is one of the most complete legendary characters. She deals damage, controls fights, and buffs her team, all while scaling beautifully throughout the endgame. Whether you're trying to tackle Crisis Watch, PvP, or just trying to strengthen your core roster, she's going to be a must-build hero that continues to stay relevant no matter how the meta shifts. If you're looking for a safe, high-value investment, Wonder Woman is absolutely worth it for your resources. Thanks for watching. If you found this guide helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more DC Worlds Collide content. Also, let me know in the comments which character you'd like me to cover next. Until next time, I'm Superhero Gamer, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away.